Hello to all of you. Welcome to the Institute's annual meeting. My name is Rolf Sovik, and I would really like to welcome all of the friends, members of the Institute, and those who might be watching online, streaming. The meeting is called to order, and first thing is to introduce members of the board. Chairman of the board is Panaraj Manitiganayat. The treasurer is Greg Capitolo. Secretary is Sujata Grady. And the executive director, Ishan Tigunayat. This meeting is a business meeting, so there is a small amount of business for us to discuss and to act on. And other than that business, it's also a report for us to tell us what we've been doing in the last year and to look ahead to coming months. And in order to do that, each of the divisions of the Institute is going to do a brief overview of their work. In some cases, audio and video, and in some cases, just speaking. But our purpose is to give some sense of where the Institute has been and where we're going over the course of the next months or years. First on that list of reports is a report from the Executive Director, Ishan Tigunayat, talking about highlights of 2016 and the future.
Thank you, Rolf. I just put up a brief agenda on the screen so you can see where we'll be headed. Getting updates from all the directors of the various key divisions of the Institute. But before I begin, I just wanted to welcome everyone again and to share a couple high-level remarks about what 2016 has meant for us and where we hope to go in 2017. It's been a truly extraordinary year, this last year, celebrating the Institute's 45th anniversary on June 23rd. Many of you joined us for our live stream presentation on that date. And that celebration really summed up in many ways what 2016 has meant to us, a time of celebration, of renewal, of exploring new opportunities for the Institute that have the capacity to redefine where we're going to be headed for many years to come. One of the key things that 2016 has been for us is an expression of our commitment to our core mission programming, our core educational teaching. We've had a number of very exciting programs that you'll hear more about from Greg Capitolo, our Director of Programming, in a few minutes. A number of very exciting programs with Panditji throughout the year, beginning from New Year's, and working with a model where we have a long weekend intensive and then a week-long practice retreat following that, which has been very successful and very fulfilling. We've had a lot of wonderful feedback from our members who've attended these programs about how dynamic this format of a study intensive combined with a practice retreat has been. And this is a format that we've used historically during all the way from the 80s onwards that we're excited about reintroducing to give people opportunity to not only study but have the time here to practice with us. The Khajuraho Sadhana immersion that ran from September 2015 to March 2016 was a real highlight. Over 400 people came to us, came to India with us, and we'll hear more about that later today as well. You'll hear more about Pirajuv wellness retreats, finding a new place within the broader mission programming department, and a really exciting range of new wellness retreats that Pirajuv has launched since our last annual meeting. And finally, a really exciting pilgrimage that we just returned back from just a couple weeks ago, the first time that the Institute has taken a pilgrimage to the Himalayas in 10 years. 41 Institute members joined us, had a wonderful, wonderful experience, and is kicking off a new era of mountain pilgrimages for the Institute, which people are very excited about. The second key area that we spoke a lot about, both in our last annual meeting and at our last presentation during the 45th anniversary celebration, was about Retreat Center. We've spoken about our desire to really grow our Retreat Center's capacity to serve the broader yoga community and broader world, and it's been a really extraordinary 12 to 18 months in that journey. Just a couple statistics you'll see on the screen here, and Brian Fulp will be presenting more to you about this. But going to 44 hosted events in this year is an extraordinary achievement from just a handful that we had done before this, and 109 total events being hosted here in 2016. This has been, all of the work with Retreat Center as far as these events has been underpinned by a huge amount of work in internal systems and capacity building, as well as infrastructural improvements. For those of you who haven't visited the Institute, who are joining us from the live stream, you'll see that when you come visit next time, a complete remodel or facelift on almost every aspect of the Institute. Guest rooms, common spaces, outdoor spaces, teaching spaces. So it's like a completely new retreat center in celebration of this 45th anniversary and beyond. A couple other really key points that you'll hear more exciting updates about. Yoga International, as we spoke about at our last annual meeting, has undergone a extraordinary transformation since the late 2014. In fact, our last annual meeting was when we first really announced some of these changes, and since then, YI has really grown by leaps and bounds, I think beyond most people's imagination. So you'll be hearing more from Todd Wolfenberg, CEO of Yoga International, about that. And you'll also be hearing a lot more about the completely revamped and relaunched HimalayanInstitute.org website. This has been a focal point of our efforts at the Institute for the last 6 to 9 months, and Aaron Lubrick, our Director of Creative Services and Marketing, will tell you more about that. It's a wonderful step for us to be able to relaunch the website, and it also is preparing us for a much broader re-engagement with online content on HimalayanInstitute.org, which I'll be telling you a little bit more about. In fact, that takes us to this look ahead into 2017. This new HimalayanInstitute.org is going to be the platform on which we're going to be launching a new section called the Wisdom Library, as well as the Amrit blog. Amrit blog is going to be a blog that'll feature weekly new content from our core mission faculty in residence. And it's a project we've been working on for several months, which will be launching just sometime in late November or early December. So stay tuned for more updates about Amrit blog from our newsletter. And our vision with this whole Wisdom Library concept on HimalayanInstitute.org is to be able to support our students' educational process from home, not only here in person. We've had a lot of feedback that people are really excited about having more regular contact with their teachers through the blog, as well as through longer form content on this section of the site, and to have more preparatory content, things that allow people to prepare before they come here and to follow up afterwards. This Wisdom Library will be a wonderful complement to the massive amount of content that you can find on Yoga International from a range of traditions. This Wisdom Library will be very, very specifically curated to parallel the type of mission teachings we're having in person, and it'll be a wonderful counterpart to the much broader range of content that you can access on Yoga International that represent a much broader range of traditions in addition to the Himalayan tradition. So stay tuned for a lot more about that in the weeks and months to come. This is just the beginning for what we'd like to do online to support our in-person teaching here in Honesdale. And there are a number of extraordinary programs coming up in 2017, beginning with our New Year's celebration on tantric rituals and tantric meditation, our group practice of Rudra Yaga and Sri Chakra Puja. It's going to be something truly one of a kind and unique to the Institute and to the Western world. And we're excited about that being the kickoff to 2017, to the sequel of Secret of Yoga Sutra being launched sometime in spring, that you'll be hearing more about, and many more courses. And lastly, one exciting look ahead to 2017 is the 10th anniversary celebration of the Himalayan Institute Cameroon. 2016 was a big year of anniversaries and celebrations here in the US with the Institute's 45th anniversary celebration, the celebration of Yoga International's 25th anniversary, and the 20th anniversary of Swamiji's Mahasamadhi coming up just in a few weeks on November 13th. But 2017 will be an exciting time to celebrate a lot of the great work which has happened over the last decade in Cameroon, which has been kind of a rebirth of the Institute's humanitarian efforts globally. And you'll be hearing a lot more about that and about our upcoming eco-service excursion. So just a few highlights for those of you who are joining us live stream, who might have to sign off from a work, if you're at work pretending to be on break, at least this is the executive summary. You can catch the rest of this archived. It just kind of shares what we're most excited about developing and sharing with you in 2017. So with that, I'd like to invite the directors to come up and to give their detailed presentations about this. And as always, as you watch this presentation, please feel free to get in touch with us by email after if you have any questions about what we're presenting. This is our passion, and we're very excited about what we're able to share with you all in this coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishan. The first director to talk is Greg Capitello. He's the director of the mission programs, and he'll talk about mission programs and peer review.
Thank you, Rolf. Good morning, everyone. As Ishan said, the mission programming, about a year and a half ago, we took a step back and looked at our product, our seminar and program offerings, and invested heavily again in our desire to bring to members and guests a longer format of study and practice. And we feel we did that in 2016. I'd like to highlight just a few of those areas in which a few of the seminars that we offered to do just that. So backing up a bit, there are three main areas of what we call mission programming. One are those study and practice intensives, which I'll cover. Secondly are the professional certifications. And thirdly, the Pure Rejuve Wellness Center and Wellness Retreats. So those are the three main areas that comprise the programming division here at the Institute. So back to the programs, we let off with a bang. Punnaji taught last New Year's to over 100 students a study and practice intensive Heal and Change, followed by Tantric Alchemy. Again, it was a 3-day study intensive followed by the 5-day practice. This particular seminar was open to the public, and we're really pleased with how many people, over half of the people who came to the weekend seminar, the Tantric Alchemy, also stayed for the intensive, the Heal and Change intensive. And it just proves to us that having decided to offer these longer, more study-intensive programs, that it responded, it's what people wanted and what people enjoy. So I want to just cover a few others just to remind ourselves of what we did this year. Rolf, again, taught Healing Art of Yoga in March 2016. He had a little bit of stiff competition that weekend, if I recall. It was Easter Sunday. But nonetheless, many people came out to join Rolf in his what he really is grown to love and teach to us and teach almost every year. And so we look forward to more from that from Rolf. In April, Sandy Anderson and Sherry Friedrichsen taught the Feminine in Tantra. Women's retreat, it was a longer 3-day intensive, and I think it was the second time that was offered. And again, over 20 people came and enjoyed their time to carve out study with Sandy and Sherry. Punnaji again led the charge in May with a program that was, there's a group of students that Punnaji has been guiding for 8-9 years, starting back with 2008 and moving into present, covering programs such as Living Tantra, the Yoga Sutra Master Course, and it's a group of students he's been guiding, and so it was an invitation to those students to come and partake in a long weekend format. The topic was Master Your Yoga Practice with the Power of Tantra, and again, close to 80 people came and joined Punnaji in those studies. Rod was back last year. Rod came in June and taught one of his Power Yoga Master Courses, The 4 Desires, to a large group, and just to let you know, he'll be back in 2017 as well, in June 2017, to conduct a similar seminar, The 4 Desires. Banerjee's our leader, and he was busy last year. He again taught in the summer this particular seminar open to the public, Specialized Practices of Yoga for a Vibrant Body and Youthful Mind. The model that we've been trying to follow, not trying to follow, the model we have been following, is to offer a couple seminars a year that are open to the public, ideally all those who are familiar with the Institute to come join us and study with us, and also an appeal to those who might be new to the Institute who have never come to a program. And in addition, we offer about 2 a year to Banerjee's that are the invitation-only seminars to the longer-term study students. So this program in the summer was well attended, was around Guru Purnima time as well. And there he is again, Banerjee teaching in the fall, Manipura Chakra, The Secret of Tantric Alchemy, the second of the 2 invitation-only intensive. Close to 100 people attended, and again, enjoyed. As Banerjee continues to dive into some real subtle teachings, and having guided a group of students to a certain point, he's able to really share with us what he has to offer. And so another well-attended seminar. As I said earlier, the mission programming, the second aspect, or what comprises mission programming, are our professional certifications. And really 2 main branches of that are Himalayan Institute Teachers Association, or our teacher training, and Ayurvedic Yoga Specialists. The first of the teacher trainings are 200-hour program. We have the intensive here in Honesdale, as well as 2 off-site at our affiliate centers in Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Over 50 newly trained teachers now as a result of these programs. And we're proud that we can continue to offer this program, but the honest truth is that the 200-hour segment is, there's so much available out there now that it's very difficult to to keep the numbers that we're used to in the 200-hour program. So it's a lot of our focus while we continue to offer the 200-hour has been more on the 500-hour, kind of think of it as graduate school curriculum, both in our seminars and in our teacher training programs. And then, of course, there's the 500 hours. So within the HITA teacher trainings, there's 200 and 500. Our 500, as I said, as the market for the 200-hour is a little bit soft, the 500-hour continues to grow, and we continue to average over 30 students for each of the 3-day segments that comprises our 500-hour. In fact, there's one going on as we speak in the next room. So really good feedback and really good participation in the 500-hour. We continue to offer, at Catherine Templeton's leadership, the Ayurveda Yoga Specialist Program. It's a NAMA-recognized program of 120 hours, and in addition to the 4 parts being based here in Honesdale, we have over 11 affiliate centers throughout the U.S. offering the AYS program. To date, we have nearly 550 graduates and nearly 700 participants since 2011. And then kind of the graduate school, if you will, in the Ayurvedic school is the Ayurvedic Health Counselor. Again, a training going on as we speak here at the campus this week. It's an 4-day intensives here in Honesdale, totaling 650 hours. And we graduated our first class last fall, and we'll be graduating our second class in January 2017. The third aspect of mission programming is our Pure Rejuve Wellness Retreats and Wellness Center. Ishan mentioned earlier that part of the strategy for this year was to align Pure Rejuve Wellness Retreats with mission programming. And I just wanted to cover a few highlights of what was accomplished this year in Pure Rejuve. We took a look, under Karen Burzen's leadership earlier in the year, we took a look, and Dr. Carrie Demers, we took a look at our retreats, or what we could offer through Pure Rejuve. And our main staple item, Panchakarma, we felt we could augment quite successfully with other programs. So the team came up with 3 new programs, Pure Rejuvenation, Healthy Transformation, and Pause and Renew. Again, all longer format opportunities for members and guests to stay and really dig into some of their health concerns and take a break away from the busyness of life and come here and really, much like our strategy with mission programs, take more than just the typical 2.5-day weekend and and work on themselves. So they were quite well received and well attended this past year. Second major accomplishment in peer review was the peer review blog. We unveiled the blog earlier this year, and it was a blog of healthy living, not to exclude diet, sleep, some of the basics, and it was a blog that was very well received, and we'll fold that into our UMRIT blog going forward as we release later this year and in 2017. And finally, we did quite a few upgrades to our wellness center. Virtually every room in the wellness center, and I hope you're able to visit one day if you haven't, went through an upgrade, from massage rooms to chiropractic office, hatha yoga room, back office, all went through a much needed upgrade. And so we're quite proud that the team was able to rally and get that accomplished. Just a couple things. As Ishan had mentioned, there's going to be a lot of exciting programs in 2017. To mention one is, of course, the New Year's program with Punjaji, Tantric Rituals and Tantric Meditation. Many practices that Punjaji's been wanting to teach, he'll unveil for the first time, as Ishan had mentioned, later this year. And finally, Ishan had also mentioned our Wisdom Library, our Amrit blog, and our faculty, when they're not out teaching, whether it's here in Honesdale or on the road, they're behind the scenes creating content for Carrie Mowbray, and they've been quite busy doing that. So we're really excited when we will be able to unveil the blog a little later in November and December. You'll see a lot of good written and video content from all of our faculty. Okay, that's mission programming in a nutshell. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time.
If you walk slowly, I'll introduce you. Thank you, Greg. Next is Brian Fulp, co-director of the Retreat Center and Operations.
I first want to say thank you to Karen Berzins, who, behind the scenes, put this presentation together and consequently made me look really good. Karen and I have been working together to keep the Retreat Center running, and Rebecca Lubert has been amazing at handling a lot of the day-to-day business of the Institute. My time's up. So I'd like to tell you about three things for the Retreat Center. One would be sales, and mostly hosting a retreat at the Retreat Center. The behind-the-scenes things that we've done to make the guest experience better, and I'd like to give away a few secrets. So for those of you who are at home, it's no secret that I like to promote the Institute, and I love technology. So for those of you at home or on the workplace, go to HimalayanInstitute.org and download the 5 secrets of hosting a successful event. If you're operating heavy machinery, don't do that. Pull over first. Okay, so nestled in the heart of the Pocono Mountains on 400 acres, 22 outbuildings and a 90,000 square foot building that was made for teaching. The Himalayan Institute looks like a retreat center, a conference center. On a slight different angle, you'll see a vibrant yoga community of nearly 100 souls working towards a common goal, a mission to inspire and empower and help those who attend reach their full potential. By any other means, that looks like an ashram. When you put those two things together, you have a really good picture of what the Himalayan Institute looks like today. It's a retreat center surrounded by community, supported by a living tradition, and it's the single biggest reason people choose to host their events here at the Himalayan Institute. About a year ago, we opened our doors. I didn't want to go deep into this, but Debbie has made such a big difference in the numbers. I had just mentioned to Punjaji hardly 2 weeks ago that we were around 34 retreats. Now, this is in addition to all the Himalayan Institute other programs that we have. There were about 34 retreats that we had signed up for 2017. Now, note that in 1 year's time, we reached 44. So the past 12 months, 44. Then we were at 34 2 weeks ago, and now suddenly I get a call from Debbie, I think Monday, who said, we're at 54. And then the next day she called, we were at 56. And now we are, sorry, Aaron, you made that change yesterday, we're at 57. Debbie keeps taking in contracts, and it's just been a huge success. The kinds of diverse groups that we're seeing is really fascinating and exciting. At first, we had yoga teachers. We expected yoga classes, retreats on the weekend. Suddenly, we had people approach us about yoga certifications, Kia Miller. Next thing we find out, CEUs and massage therapy, reflexology, cranial sacrum. Suddenly, that's the big thing at the Himalayan Institute. One day, Debbie gets a call from a hospital administrator. They want to bring 200 people here just for a morning. They used our auditorium. They shot out into smaller rooms. They had breakout sessions. We catered it. It was a diverse group. Even Rotary clubs, Interact. I've had the Red Hatters out here. This place is really thriving, and we've learned that we can take this facilities and do anything we want with it. Another interesting thing is that there was a recent survey out that showed more than 34 million people are participating in yoga. 8% of those practitioners have already attended a retreat. 64%, I always round up, 62% would like to participate in a retreat. That's an amazing group. That shows potential that we hadn't expected before. What sets us apart? I already talked about our incredible yoga community, the amenities, Sacred Grove Cafe, Aaron smiling in the morning when you get here, the mountain setting, our beautiful meeting spaces, and of course our Ayurvedically balanced, healthy, and beautiful food are all things that people love to have when they come here. Many of the teachers who come here think that, wow, I can't teach an event because it's going to be day and night. How am I going to teach all those classes? Well, it is possible to have downtime. You can actually have what we call an add-on and have our staff teach something that complements whatever is in your program. Along with pranayama or some of the other programs that you might be offering, you'd be shocked and excited to know that people are choosing campfires and chai parties as fast as they're adding on other things to their program. Our most exciting one this past year was our adventure yoga travel. Oh, the most exciting one was our adventure yoga travel on this side. So imagine being able to come to the Himalayan Institute from the city. You spend a day kayaking, snowshoeing, mountain biking. The next few days you spend, candlelit dinners with music, hatha yoga, or just a med retreat. If you can think it up, we're able to do it, and people are thinking of a lot of things. Our open houses tend to be the most successful single event that we've been holding, where folks can come in, teachers, and learn about what we do. So we start off in the evening with a tea and chai party. I guess that's where they got the idea. The next day we have a little practice in the morning, and then we have orientation, tour. And then you get a chance to meet with Debbie, and she actually is able to guide you or give suggestions on how to host a successful retreat. Consequently, if any of you are at home and you'd like to download the 5 secrets for hosting your successful retreat, go online and do that and contact us, and we can help get you into an open house. Amazing feedback. We want to thank you and your whole staff for once again making our retreat a success. Then you skip to the bottom. And on a side note, our people love the campfire. So feedback like this is coming in from our hosts and our guests. I'd like to take a second now and just show you what we're doing behind the scenes to make everything better, the guest experience. So you remember the window project? We finished it, 196 windows. The patio project, bricks on the left, got turned into a beautiful patio in the front, and actually is one of our most popular common spaces. The timeline project needed a timeline. So you'll be able to see, this is our 45th anniversary. People are saying, what about this? What about that? Well, there's a 50th anniversary coming, and you'll see that then. Our trails, we can't have time to go through all this stuff, but you notice we remodeled the auditorium. We've added 2 new spaces, Horizon Room, Sunrise Room. People love our business center. I'd like to point out our vintage fax machine. We did not leave our tradition behind. We still have some tradition left in us. The septic field I promised I'd never mention again is here. I can't, what should I say? Just know that we are close to finishing that. We have some exciting news. Everything has a story, so if you want to see me later, email me if you're at home, and I'll tell you the story. I don't know how that got there, or that. Roadside cleanup, we are an amazing community, and not just here in our campus. We're an amazing community within the Honesdale and Wayne County area. We planted a new tree grove. One day we'll have picnic tables under those trees. I know it. Punichy's on the left. He joined in on our all hands on deck day. That's how things happen at the Institute. Delicious food. We talked about that. We have made huge changes in our kitchen, to our menu, and soon I hope to be able to surprise you with other updates from our dining room. Here's some behind the scenes kitchen. In fact, this could be live right now. They're working hard to get ready for after the annual meeting. We had a series of interruptions accentuated by crisis. I don't even know what to say about Mark Smith hauling concrete out of the basement, but he did it. We had a beaver incident, so there's something there. And a truck that made a wrong turn on campus that ended up taking out trees and took us a week to repair. So coming soon, I already gave away the dining room thing. If you haven't already, and you're at home, I'd like for you to download the 5 Secrets to Hosting a Successful Retreat from the Himalayan Institute website. I'm serious about this invitation. I'll buy the first cup of chai. You guys come out here and visit us. We'll have a nice open house. There are 2 types of people in my world. There are those who host events here, and there are those who recommend it. We are ideally positioned after 45 years to help you help your teachers and students to reach their full potential. We provide the environment, and you simply provide the knowledge and training. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next is Stephen Moulton, Director of Business Operations.
Thank you, Rolf. We've had a really great year with our products and IT and accounting. I'm going to jump right in, but before I do that, I really want to thank the team that is in products and sales as well as IT and accounting. It's actually been a very consistent year for us. Usually it's very, people are moving in and out of positions there, so that team and that experience has really done well for this year. So I'm going to start with HI products. And this year we brought out a kind of a re-envisioned line of clothing and HI branded products. There's clothing, hats, and notebooks, pens, mugs, and so on. And Aurora Maxey, who's in the audience here, did a great job bringing that out. It's been really successful. I think the biggest thing about this is that guests come, they get that, and they appreciate the ability to take Himalayan Institute back with them to where they live and to share it with other people. In terms of the HI book business, when you do a great book 2 years ago, Secret of the Yoga Sutra, you usually see a lull in some of those sales. But we've had a very, very consistent year of sales, 2 years after, which is great. We've also had our audio and ebook business go up by 200%. We've signed 3 new foreign book contracts. As well, we have 1 more book for next year. One of my favorite pieces of the HI book business is talking about the top 10 books. So you can guess along with me if you want. Number 5 is Yoga, Mastering the Basics, followed by Secret of the Yoga Sutra. Number 3, Diet and Nutrition. Number 2, Muscle Book. Number 1, consistently, other than a year ago, The Science of Breath. Just a really super classic book that just continues to be a strong seller. But next year, we're going to have 2 massive books. 1, Practice of the Yoga Sutra, Sadhanapada, PRT's follow-up book to Secret of the Yoga Sutra, as well as a book by Zoe Newell called Flying Monkeys, Floating Stones, a follow-up to Downward Dog. and warriors. Moving on to our Ayurvedic and health products, again, also a really very good year for that. Mostly Chyawanprash leading the way, Nasya oils, Namaste, and then our Triphala products. We, at the very end of this year, added a new software piece to Shopify, which allows us to sell to our resellers. They can log online, get their discount, and make their purchases. And over the last 3 months since we've had it, the adoption rate has just gone up. We're getting over, again, a lot more orders and bulk of our orders through this system now, which is great because people, when they want to buy it, they can go on and purchase. So our kind of goal for this year for within the products is to increase our resellers, keep getting more people to use the supple application. Also, Namaste is going to have a new look next year, kind of simplifying a little bit. It was a little bit too out there before. So we're really thinking that this is going to kind of just make it simple for us. Moving on to information technology and accounting. There's probably two big words in IT this year, and one was implementation, and second was simplification. We've rolled out 3 different software for the business. WRP, which is our retreat center, programming Pure Rejuve accommodations and programming software. It also is doing our certifications and excursions now. MindBody, we're more fully using it at the the Pure Rejuve Center, but we will actually do all business within MindBody by the end of the year, eliminating Shopify there. And then Freshdesk is a new ticketing software for both IT and facilities. And this, we've heard from the users that this has been a really great addition to what they have. It allows them to really organize their work and to prioritize that so that nothing falls through the cracks. And I think I heard from a couple people that people started setting tickets in, sent a ticket in, it got done really quickly, and so a flood of tickets started coming in with the confidence that things were getting done. We've been streamlining hardware and software. And I could go over lots of stuff, but we're talking about computers and IP phones, our software that we use. We're trying to just do more sharing in terms of access to that. We've eliminated our copper phone lines, and sorry, Brian, that fax in the lounge is now gone. You can e-fax now. But we've implemented that in a cell phone alarm system. We've incorporated an older gift card system into Shopify. And all of this, and this is not even the hardware savings, but we have realized actually $15,000 in annual recurring costs. So every year we're going to save $15,000 on some of these items. Looking ahead, we're going to start using Google Drive a little bit more. That we hope will allow us to eliminate some of our servers. We're going to improve our network printing and scanning. And we're going to roll out a new CRM to buttress everything that we do here. Accounting, I think the major takeaway is that we have consistently used reporting out of Xero on a monthly basis using our budgeting. That allows the division heads as well as managers to really see how well their business is doing and to act upon it. We've incorporated different software into that month-end close process. And just really a host of other improvements that I'd love to go over, but looking ahead, we are, again, like I said, going to be using MindBody fully over at the Pure Rejuve Center. We're going to do some payroll improvements, which allow us to do paid time off through ADP and making that time off request system better, and some banking improvements. Again, I appreciate the entire team that have been really the support network for all of this. So thank you again.
Thank you, Steve. It's amazing to be part of this, actually. These all mysterious workings behind the scene. Great to have you talk about it. Next is Aaron Luberich, who's going to talk about website and marketing.
Rolf, thank you. Members of the board, community members, let's get into it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It would be our most ambitious project to date. That new website, it's very elusive. To give you a recap of what we've done thus far, we've launched the website. For Humanitarian, we launched first. We did this back in July, 5 a.m. Eastern. I'd show you pictures, but everybody was in their jammies, and it wasn't necessarily the best shot or the most flattering pictures. We did this again because we enjoyed it so much, and we said we'll do the retreat center, mission programming, spiritual excursions about, and mission membership as a fun start to our Friday morning, September 30th. And as you've heard Ishan, Greg allude, we will be releasing the Wisdom blog and the Amrit blog later this year. So some exciting stuff. I'll talk about that here in a minute. I will probably take a page out of Brian Fulp's notebook and gratuitously market it while we're here. So I thought it'd be interesting to cover a topic which would be the website. What goes into building a new website? How do we do it? It starts with the users. We have members, community members, residents, faculty members, everybody that had given us feedback. How do I navigate the website? What's on the website? What's important to me? Why do I come to the HimalayanInstitute.org website and study, learn about the things going on here? So we took all that information and we developed a content strategy around it. Content laid out in a way that was conducive to the way the folks that are consuming it online were most interested in seeing it, meaning pictures, text, sections that have video, no video, just pictures, maybe no text at all. We took that and we developed what I like to call the information architecture. This is the nuts and bolts of how you navigate a website. It is pretty ugly. It's a white page with lots of black lines on it and names over it, so it doesn't look quite like a website. I'll show you one here in a minute. The next was the fun part, content outlines. This means each division listed up here needed to be rewritten. So when I say that the website is net new, there is no text, no copy, no content on that website that you have seen before. I'm excited about that. I am hoping that you've had an opportunity to take a look at it. I'll plug the website one more time before we get through this. And then the content creation. So this is ongoing. This includes the work that's being done for the Wisdom Library, the Amrit blog, all the various sections of the static portions of the website for the Retreat Center for Mission Programming. All of that was rewritten by the divisions. We turn that into wireframes next. We take all of that and we start to flesh out the skeleton, if you would, if we're going to use an anatomy analogy, where the individual bones, some of the skeletal muscles, some of the tendons are now laid in, starting to look like a human being. 500 Hour was being taught in here a minute ago. I had a demonstration. There was a little skeleton over here in the corner we moved. Digital media asset collection. Really, this means that I have got a camera in your face 24/7 trying to get the best of what the Himalayan Institute has to offer. We had a variety of folks running around taking pictures. I think I told you back in August. Thank you for your flexibility, patience with us. We really wanted to capture everything we thought would be in the hearts of the individuals that come here and visit us at the Retreat Center or have been coming over the years. But it really was a all-hands-on-deck effort in order to capture over 300 new pictures for the website and a handful of videos that were shot and produced by our team. A little bit more of that, still doing our video and image capture. Finally, we take all of these materials. We've got the raw ingredients, the samagriya for those that have participated in a fire ceremony. We are now ready to start dumping in all of our goodies and to give it life, to start breathing something together so that we had something for the outside world to see, the colors, the fonts, the borders, the trim. Ishan mentioned he had been in India a couple of times this year. This is true. We did a few design reviews with India, with Ishan in India. I think you did one of them from the Ganga on a cell phone. Congratulations. I think you're the first person to do that. And then all of the fun that comes into the go-live readiness. So preparing to make sure that when we launched this website, it was representative of the tradition. It expressed the sentiments, thoughts, the feelings, the cleanness that we have come to know about what the Himalayan Institute and the tradition here has to offer. And this will go on and on and on. But when you add all this up, voila. I know. You have what I call a very neat magic trick. I'll introduce you to the team momentarily that put this together. But effectively, Ishan mentioned 9 months. In August, it was 9 months. As of November 15th will be close to a year. And that is from discussion, conceptualization, to even entertaining the idea of making this a formal project. But Thank you, Ishan, for allowing us to make this happen, because it really has been a great endeavor by the team. It has brought us together closer, and it has allowed us to express our most intimate thoughts and feelings of what this place means to us. So I promised ugly. Here it is. Look at all this. This doesn't look much like a website. It looks more like an outline with, a rough sketch of what a website might look like. Voila. That's what it ends up turning into. So a little example of what's to be and how it came together. The second part of this presentation will cover the marketing angles here. What's coming in 2016 and ahead in 2017? You've heard us allude to it, but the Omelet blog. So again, stories that I feel like are important to the folks that want to study abroad, study at home. There's an amazing amount of content that's been curated by the staff, that is to be curated by the staff, that we have to share and express to the world. So we are very excited to be releasing this. Again, we feel as though mid-November to late November is that launch date. The marketing plugs that come as part of my marketing presentation. If you are interested, how do I figure out how to get on there and get that information? I want the Omelet blog. How do I do it? Email address, email address, email address. Please sign up. Please visit our website. Please let us know that you're interested in hearing more about this. We would be happy to share the story, share the amazing content with you. Let me introduce you to the team as I promised. We'll start with audiovisual. In fact, I need to thank Josh Wolfenberg, Barry Bircher, Lisa Harchin, who I can see in the booth right now for the live stream audience, Ryan McKean, and Jessica Jacoby, one of our contributing photographers for the entirety of the website. Without these three folks, we could not have made the new imagery on the website possible. What does it take to keep this motley crew of misfits in order? It takes Valerie Handunge. We needed a project manager. There was just too much to track, too many stories in a project management tool to keep in order without having somebody responsible for it. So Val, I know you're in teacher training. Thank you. And then Serena Jetelina and her amazing team of marketers that are going to be bringing you more of this information through our digital communications, through our newsletter, through e-blasts, through Facebook, through social media. Again, David Goddard, Anthony Disler, thank you all very much. It's a pleasure to work with all of you. And then the graphic designers, Ann Dutton, Kevin Richardson. Amazing individuals, serious talents. Just every little bit of the website is oozing with the creative genius that these two bring to the table. So again, if you like the colors, you like the fonts, you like the way the pictures are laid out on the page, you can thank these two individuals right here. The junior developers, I can tell you this, these guys went through almost 1,000 pages that were previously on the website, cataloged, indexed, conducted all our UAT, do all of the medial tasks that I'll introduce you to the senior developers later, but they really were the nuts and bolts of us making this project come together and ensuring that when we launched the new website, all the redirects, all the things that needed to happen, so if somebody went to the old website, they got to what they're looking for. Scott Harrison, Tyler Fulcher, I gotta thank them. And then the last two. These two I've gotten to know because technically it was just the three of us at the very beginning. And when we started talking about this website and what it might be and how it might come together, we were seriously scratching our heads. I'll introduce Rafi Colton. Rafi's not feeling well today, so he couldn't stand up and take a bow, but I thank him. Lee Olson, as I mentioned, in 500-hour training, another amazing individual. Without these folks, we could not have accomplished what we have. So again, I'd like to thank everybody on my team. It's an honor, a pleasure working with you on a day-in, day-out basis. Thank you to the board for allowing me to speak. Have a good day.
That means the website is actually up and running, so check it out. Yeah. Thank you. Ishan Tiganayat is replacing his sister, Alat Tiganayat, to tell us about spiritual experience.
I can't replace her, but I'll try my best. It's a unique thing for a brother to stand in for her sister. Alat is actually in India right now hosting one of our groups. I just came back from India just a couple days ago, in fact. 2016 has been a fantastic year for HI Spiritual Excursions. We kicked off the year with the Khajuraho Sadhana Immersion, which was in celebration of the 3-year anniversary of the Srividya Shrine's consecration in Khajuraho. We had over 400 people join us for this program, which was a series of 13 10-day sessions from September to March 2016. People continue to have an extraordinary experience when they visit the Khajuraho campus, and overwhelmingly, people talk about how they're excited to come back again. We had over 90 of these 400 participants also join us for an add-on to either Allahabad or Varanasi. So a large number of people wanting to also extend their pilgrimage with these other pilgrimages. Just a quick picture of what the Khajuraho Srividya Shrine looks like right now. Most of you haven't been there in the wetter part of the year and wouldn't believe that this kind of greenery is possible. So you should join us sometime between September and November, and this is what you'd see. These are some pictures from the Khajuraho Sadhana Immersion. Really a powerful event, and one that I think all the participants who joined us will remember for a whole lifetime. This is just one of the groups. I think this is group 3, one of the early groups. One of the neat things about the Sadhana Immersion was a new format where instead of having a very large 1 to 200 person group, we had a series of smaller groups. So the 13 sessions I mentioned ranged anywhere from 15 participants to 50 participants. So a nice medium size that gave us more opportunity for one-on-one interaction. One of the other things that we launched this year that we mentioned in our last annual meeting was the opportunity for Institute members and students to come to Khajuraho for personal retreats. So this year we'll have several dozen people who will be going on personal retreats similar to what you can do here in Honesdale to come for your own practice, for your own self-reflection, for anywhere from a week to several weeks. We also launched private group retreats in Khajuraho, similar to what Brian told you about, not anywhere on the same scale. A limited group of teachers who are closer to the Institute who are looking to host practice-based retreats in India at our Khajuraho campus. In fact, one group is going on right now as we speak with Luke Ketterhagen, and we have 2 more groups lined up for the spring. So this is an exciting thing to allow Institute teachers to come and share that experience of Khajuraho with their own students. A couple updates on HI India and HI Khajuraho new infrastructure and development. This is a beautiful lecture pavilion that we inaugurated back in September, coinciding with the Sadhana immersion programs. A great outdoor space, indoor-outdoor space for lectures, asana, kirtan, you name it. We even had a wedding reception here for 2 of our members who are married in Khajuraho. So wonderful outdoor space. And a whole slew of landscaping and beautification projects. Beautiful rose garden, a new pagoda that people can enjoy for practice or reflection. And the banyan grove and cactus rock garden continues to really blossom. We also secured a beautiful 4-acre parcel of land which will serve as the home for a future community center humanitarian project in Khajuraho. This land is just a couple minutes walk from the main campus, and it has tremendous potential. We're still in early stages of contemplating what that project might look like. We're going to spend the next year or so doing a range of community outreach surveys to get a sense of what would be the most impacting project, and hope to be able to roll out a new humanitarian project here by 2018 or 2019. And our Gangotri pilgrimage. We just finished this pilgrimage in mid-October. As I mentioned earlier on, it was the first HI pilgrimage back to the Himalayas in 10 years since our Valley of Flowers trip in 2006. There was a lot of pent-up interest and desire in returning to the mountains. This trip, I think, sold out within just a couple weeks of it being announced. Group of 41 pilgrims traveled to a range of shrines, including Yamunotri, Gangotri, and Uttarkashi. 40 miles trekked on foot, 40 hours covered by bus doesn't really sum up what extent all these pilgrims went through. It was a very physically demanding trip, but a very rewarding and rich trip for everyone. This is a shot of the Ganga right near Gomukh, where the source of the Ganga is. It's a place beyond description. The pictures don't really do it justice. We camped for 3 nights in this whole Gangotri Valley. These peaks right here in the center are the Bhagirathi peaks from which the glacier emerges. A really extraordinary experience. It was particularly special for everyone who joined in that this is a place which is prominently mentioned several times by Swami Rama in his Living with Himalayan Masters autobiography and a number of other books. It's a place that's very, very renowned and famous in the tradition. And this is the shot of all 41 participants who had an extraordinary time. 2017 is going to be another really wonderful year for excursions, starting with our follow-up Khajuraho Sadhana immersion, February to March, and another mountain pilgrimage to a shrine called Tunganath, which is also in the mid-elevation, Himalayas in March. Our Cameroon service excursion, which Jeff Abella will tell you a little bit more about in a few minutes. And a whole bunch of new programs that we're thinking about for 2018 and 2019, including a grand celebration for the next Ardh Kumbh Mela in Allahabad in February 2019. Some of you have already begun hearing rumblings and whisperings about this program, and we're excited to share more about this next spring and certainly by our next annual meeting. It'll be a truly extraordinary program that will tie in a very strong way to our core mission programming that's going to roll out over the next several years. So stay tuned for more about that. And for those of you who are joining us live stream who might know people who are on this pilgrimage to Gangotri, who are going to Tunganath next year, ask them for their own experiences. There's no better way to learn about these than talking to your fellow pilgrims. And hopefully it'll inspire you to join us one day in the mountains or in Khajuraho. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishan, and also special thanks to Alat, who's not here, but I'm sure is on the job of leading excursions where she is. Next, Jeff Abella, who's talking to us about humanitarian projects, and in particular, HI Cameroon.
Thank you, Rolf. Thank you, Ishan. Good morning, everyone. To keep the cadence quick here, I put together a little image photo montage. HI Cameroon is an entire entity in and of itself, so it's a lot to cover. So I'm going to be condensed, but let me float this now. I'd love to connect with each and all of you, or for those in YouTube world, send me an email, or we'll connect over the phone for more details. But in general, this is a big year for us. We planted our feet in Cameroon just shy of 10 years ago. And by offering healthcare, education, and job creation, we've been able to see and witness extraordinary change in people's lives and in communities. This work has persevered for nearly a decade in a place where many not-for-profits collapse. And I think that the source of that strength really lies in understanding cultures and supportive donors and really committed staff and volunteers. Last year, our health team worked hard to steer itself towards a local staffing model, and we're proud to report that our local health experts now facilitate the entire program from health trainings all the way through to managing our mobile health center as well as our physical health centers. And our 5-year plan for that program is to train and deploy 500 health workers throughout the country. Consistently, there's a lack of access to information and quality education in Cameroon, and our public libraries are really designed, our public library network is really designed to decentralize the spread of knowledge, the share of knowledge. And we're the only network in the country that integrates both healthcare and education in one unique model. And we have 5 health centers, or 5 libraries right now by the end of this year, and by the end of 2017, we plan to have opened up 3 more. In 2007, we started a Cameroon Scholarship Program, which provides educational scholarships to motivated primary, secondary, and university students. And since then, we've been able to give out 320 scholarships to deserving students, and that number continues to grow every year. As we approach our 10th anniversary, we've started a campaign to really garner support for launching us into the next decade. And this is also a great website that the Creative Service team has done a phenomenal job at putting together, which can really articulate what it is that we're doing over there, all of what we're doing. So check it out and share it. Secondly, we're kicking off a 10th anniversary service excursion next year with Pundaji. We're in the thick of planning that right now, It's a very unique experience, and it's going to be a phenomenal journey. It's hard to get this kind of experience with such company anywhere else on the planet. And if you ever wanted to join us in the heart of West Africa, this is the trip. We have 5 spaces available, and that's great news, but at the same time, you need to hurry and get in touch with us. And lastly, a really big thanks to our local staff back home in Cameroon for pushing these efforts forward. They work day and night. There's no 8-hour days there. It's just commitment to getting the job done. Secondly, a really big thanks to Steve, Alat, Chelsea, Ransom, Nita, Emma, and the entire creative services team who have really made all of this possible. And lastly, a very big thanks to David Frechter, who led the startup of a fundraising committee last year, and that really made last year's fundraiser very successful. So I was over there, I got back about a month ago, and on my last day with the team, I asked them, what does 10 years of service mean to you? And what does 10 years of you serving your community mean to you? And I wanted 3 words. I was looking for, 3 words that could kind of, convey that sentiment. And we ended up spending about a whole day. It was like a sharing circle. They had a lot to say. Anyway, I boiled that down to 1:30, and here's what they had to say.
This place is 9 years old, and I always be proud that I was there from the beginning. Himalayan Institute has inculcated reading habit in the community, which is something that is really lacking in Cameroon.
Empower the community.
Improves people's health, educate people.
This is because of the Himalayan Institute that have come and make me to be what I am.
At first, I was living in absolute poverty, but now they have given me an opportunity to work hard and have something that I can feed myself with, building me a new life.
When the woman has nothing to be doing, from the house to the farm, from the house to the church, that's the woman's life. The Himalayan Institute play a very big part.
Together as one.
Himalayan Institute is present here and present in people's lives. Health, education, and employment.
I feel overjoyed. I feel that some people are smiling because of my participation.
I came here in 2007. Before I came here, I was miserable. And since then, my life has really changed.
Empowerment, sustainability,
Happy, healthy, and changed.
Ciao.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Next on our list is Sujata Grady, Director of Human Resources and Administration.
Good morning and good afternoon, good evening to those who might be out there around the world in different time zones. It's lovely to see you all. What a beautiful way to come into our community talk today, to have that there. Thank you. That was just beautiful. I think we all agree on that. So I do look forward to the annual meeting every year. It feels like a celebration of our connection to the work of this living tradition that goes on beaming light and knowledge through the centuries, and also a celebration of our connection to each other. It is quite satisfying to pause once a year and look back at the good work of so many hands and so many fronts. This is also the perfect time to thank all the lovely souls who choose to share their time, talents, and resources with the Himalayan Institute. Many of you here and listening out there share the gratitude I feel to serve and be served in this community. You can see some of the reasons we feel that way all around you in this room and up on the screen. The Institute is fortunate to attract an amazing group of individuals who bring their talents and experience, their creativity and commitment and their desire to grow and contribute the best of themselves in meaningful ways. Your gifts enrich all of us and the life of this organization. There are a few different ways to become involved in serving at our Honesdale campus. For those of you who might be intrigued by this idea of working with us, we post open residential service opportunities and staff positions on our website. We also post job opportunities for folks who live in the surrounding area. And we have a great group of volunteers, near and far, who help with all sorts of projects, from showing up to prune shrubs, to expertise building a website, and everything in between. So, who are we, this Himalayan Institute community? Yes, as Brian mentioned, we do have a pretty amazing 90,000 square foot building, but the Institute is not built of brick and mortar. It is built of the energy, skill, and vibrant intentions of people. It began with the intention and blessings of the Himalayan sages. It was built by Swami Rama, willing this organization into existence with dreams and genius and love and hard work that we can only guess at. It's sustained by Panditji, growing and leading it with joy and courage and wisdom and hard work. It's made of the energy of thousands of great souls who continue to bring their best to this organization and to create something extraordinary that shines in the world, that thousands call their spiritual home. That is who we are, and what we are made of, 45 years and counting. Those who have the privilege of living here for a while understand we have a responsibility to maintain this spiritual home for a very large family of seekers who come for a time, take what they gather from this tradition, from our mutual friendships, back with them to their families and communities. In turn, they share with us stories of growth and positive change, the amazing work they do. And that re-inspires us to keep spreading the word, keep on doing the work. That ripple effect of lives touching other lives carries the riches of the Himalayan Institute far outside this campus. Our work and our community live out there too, in hundreds of cities and towns, where our friends and volunteers continue to invite and welcome Panditji on lecture tours. It's alive in Buffalo and Pittsburgh, where our Institute Branch Center volunteers have lovingly served their neighbors for decades. It lives in the Institute's One Tribe movement that raised funds to bring life-changing libraries and good health to the people of Cameroon. Our community is thriving online as a global audience dives into the web offerings of the Institute and Yoga International. Our community lives in yoga and meditation classes around the world, taught each day by a network of knowledgeable, inspired, well-trained teachers. And our community thrives in two gem-like heavens on earth in India, in Allahabad and Khajuraho, where you can hear and feel the heartbeat of this tradition. The legendary generosity and benevolence of the Institute's founder, Swami Rama, and other sages of the tradition are very real. And one of the ways they are made manifest in this world is through your loving, skillful thoughts and actions, whether you are teachers, students, members, friends, near or far. The themes you hear running through this afternoon of sharing knowledge, of service, of skillful action, of transformation and gratitude. These are the foundation of who we are as individuals and as a community. And that is definitely worth celebrating. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Sujata. Next is Todd Wolfenberg, the CEO of Yoga International.
Right to the end of that slideshow.
Thanks, everybody. Good morning to everybody here in the room, to everybody online, to everybody down at Yoga International who's watching this morning. It's difficult every year to cram 12 months of work into 5 minutes, and I think this year, especially on the Yoga International side, it's virtually impossible to really do it justice. So I'll try to cover a few things, a few key points. And there's obviously a lot more behind the scenes that isn't even really possible to cover in this format. But The last year has really been a primary focus on marketing and growth. And by that, I mean really expanding the exposure that we have to Yoga International to students all over the world, and to expanding the content offerings that we provide, innovating in how we deliver content and how people can consume the content. And so we've spent a tremendous amount of time focused just on that. And I could go through statistics really for quite a long time. It's difficult to even really conceptualize at a certain point. We get obviously enormous amounts of people visiting the site on a daily basis. You can look at how many hours people spend on the site, or revenue growth and things like that. All of those are results of really the quality of the content that's being offered, and the marketing team that we have at Yoga International getting all of the content out there. So I wanted to spend a little bit more time focused really on the content side of things, because I think that's probably the most accessible and understandable in terms of what we've accomplished in the past year. A big focus that we've had this year is on new offerings, and so we added workshops to the website, which are all new, completely new ways that people can consume content and interact on the web on yogainternational.com. That didn't really exist before. These are 1 to 3 hour programs that delve a little bit deeper from an educational perspective on a variety of different topics. Whereas many other websites really focus on just taking an individual yoga class, these are ways that people can actually have an educational experience and also interact in a digital environment. We already have more than 35 hours worth of content for members to be able to consume. It's all included in people's membership on the website, along with new daily content that we're producing every day. But workshops are completely brand new. We also added a brand new pose finder feature to the website. We have more than 80 poses on the website that people can go through. It's got the audio translation, the key benefits, key actions of each pose, and has been really well received. It just launched a couple of months ago, again, free on the website. We redesigned the entire website. About a year ago, we realized that a lot of other websites were more or less copying the design that we had, and we didn't really feel that it did justice to the quality of content and our approach necessarily either. So we completely overhauled everything in a relatively short period of time, focused again mainly on our membership offerings, and optimizing for mobile devices, as we've seen more and more people coming to the website using their iPad, their iPhone, their Android devices. So that occurred late last year. We have 2 podcasts now. We have a practice podcast, which is relatively new, and a Yoga Talk podcast as well. Both of those are well received. You can go to iTunes and subscribe to those, and it automatically downloads to your computer or your iOS device. We've added more than 350 new on-demand yoga classes to the website in the past year. It's something that we've ramped up. It's something that users really enjoy, being able to practice at home. Even if you've only got 15 minutes and you can't make it to your studio, you can find a 15-minute class or a 30-minute class to fit into your busy schedule. It's something that we get really good feedback on. We've also added live stream classes. Live stream classes and actually workshops are ways that people can participate and view content live. And especially on the workshop side, they can also interact. So they can post questions, feedback, get answers directly from the teachers that are teaching the classes and workshops, something that we're going to be expanding going into next year. More interesting formats on how people can participate in content. We have 2 digital conferences. We've been using this model for a while, where we launch content twice a year, large conferences. And these are digital events where we take some of the biggest and most powerful teachers across the country and release all of their content free over the course of a weekend. It's a way that we can share all of these teachings. We get really incredible feedback from users all over the world. Virtually every country across the world is representative when we look at the number of people that tune in for these. We typically get about 50,000 people per event that tune in over the course of the weekend. So they're very large, and successful for us. And then for people that want to have access to all of that content longer term, they can purchase access to it and own the content on an ongoing basis. We've also launched new courses this year with a variety of different teachers. It's something we'll be expanding going into next year quite a bit. These are a la carte programs that are typically a little bit longer in duration. So we've got anywhere from 5 to 15-hour programs with teachers on different topics that go a little bit deeper. So there'll be lots of new courses that we'll be launching in 2017 as well. And then, of course, we reopened really our downtown location in May, something that we had hoped to be able to do, and with the growth that we had seen, we're able to do this. This gave us a couple of benefits. One, we had all of our inventory that we were stocking and storing online, we were able to display for retail sale, have a little bit of cafe, but also allowed us to open the yoga studio, which served both the local community as well as allowing us to do live stream events from there and film the majority of our content there as well. So the majority of our content is now filmed there. If you haven't been, next time you're coming into the Institute, downtown Honesdale, take a peek, stop in. We've got pour over coffee here from locally roasted mocha origins, and lots of really cool space, as well as yoga classes every day of the week now. So lots, and all of our live streams are being streamed directly from our downtown location. We did obviously quite a bit of work, the new flooring and so forth, so we're really excited about that. It's been really well received in the local community, and then obviously all of our online participation as well. Looking forward, we have a lot more planned for 2016 and 17. The next really big launch for us is our app. Something that we've seen as an ongoing trend is people wanting to be able to access their content wherever they are. So looking at that, the app is going to allow them to do a whole bunch more than they can do just with the mobile version of the website. Even though it's very mobile friendly right now, we have the app is going to allow them to track their progress and set different goals. It's going to remind them about workshops that they may have started that they were intending to complete. It'll alert people to new content that comes out. They'll be able to download their content to their phone so that they can take it with them anywhere that you go. Whether you're online or offline, you can always have access to classes as well as the articles that we're publishing on an ongoing basis. We're really, really excited about the way that people are going to be able to interact with that content. We'll be launching the iOS app in the next 60 days or less, and we'll be launching on Android shortly thereafter. So we're really look for more information on all of our social channels as well as email more about the app launches. We've grown a lot in staff as well over the course of the past year. All of the growth that we've seen has really come because we've been able to scale and increase the size of our staff. We have 12 new staff members this year since the last annual meeting. So that's been a big driver of our success and growth over the course of time. And then mostly I want to thank the YI team for their ongoing support. It's been really incredible. You know, I was thinking just this morning a little bit about, it was really only 2 years ago when Ishan and I and others sat down and really started thinking about this concept in a much more concrete way. And then shortly thereafter, the core YI management team, Kat, Emily, Travis, John, and myself, I remember sitting downtown and in what at the time was just a shell of a building. The third floor was largely being unused at the time, and there were just filing cabinets and things, and really starting to chart out some ideas about what we could do. It's been just incredible seeing the growth over the past 2 years. Super excited about what we're going to be doing in the future, but I especially want to thank that core group that started off, and of course all of the new people as well. So thank you all for your support, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Todd. I can just say that There's something about the name Yoga International that is a striking name for what we do here and what you do. Thank you very much for that. Last on our list is Greg Capitolo to talk about the Treasurer's Report.
Thank you, Rolf. This will be the low-tech version of today's presentation. So, like Todd, it's a challenge to, from the treasurer's perspective, to summarize all that we've done, all the lines of business that you've heard about over the past 12 months. And as you've heard previously, it's really amazing what the Institute has accomplished in the last 12 months in our efforts to keep putting forth our teachings and mission, as well as invest in long-term sustainable growth. Just to recap a little bit what we've heard today, we've talked about some programming initiatives or intensives. We've heard about KSI 2016 and the Gangotri excursion, our ongoing work in Cameroon. Upgrades to our facilities, our peer review wellness retreats and blog, the wellness center upgrades. You just heard from Todd, YI.com, further claiming its role as a leader in the online yoga education. You heard from Stephen regarding our continued investment in our book and products business lines. Also from Stephen, optimizing our software and business processes. I like what he said, amplification and simplification. It's a good motto, Stephen. Keep it up. And you've heard about our new marketing division from Aaron and our new website. So it's a challenge to summarize all that. So I'd like to share just a few key metrics that we hold important at the board level with you this morning. Taken together, the Institute experienced a 30% growth in our net income for the 12-month period that just ended September 30th. That's quite an accomplishment. The nature of our business is somewhat cyclical when we have many lines of business that contribute towards this bottom line, but when we have special events like the excursions, it can really strongly affect a P&L from looking at from 1 year. Undertaking our capital, conscious and cognizant of investing in the Institute for our long-term sustainable growth, but doing so mindfully, as is really our charter. Like most nonprofits, much of our mission work could not be possible without the love and support of our donors. Donations for the same time period, 12 months ending September 30th, 2016, were up 35%, as supporters of our humanitarian projects continued to respond to Jeff's inspiration, the whole humanitarian team's inspiration. And as the initial wave of supporters for our Sri Vidya Shrine have come forward with their love and their pledge. So I would like to say, give a special thanks to our donors. No matter how seemingly small your acts of generosity, we thank you for your support as we continue to sustain and grow an institute that supports our shared commitment to personal growth and promotes the teachings of the sages. Thanks a lot.
This is an information meeting and also partly a business meeting, and we have just a few items of business to conduct. One is to ask Sujata to read the names of the members of the Board of Directors and the honorary Board of Directors appointed by Pandit.
All right, so the National Headquarters Board of Directors consist of Panditji, Greg Capitolo, Brian Fulp, Suzanne Grady, Irene Petrazak, Keith Morgan, Stephen Moulton, Rolf Sovic, Ishan Tigunayat, and Deborah Willoughby. And we also have some honorary directors who are August Gatto, Donald Pentecost, Rod Stryker, and Mohan Swami.
Thank you, Sue. To establish that we have a quorum for this meeting, I'd like to ask Nita Eckert how many initiate member proxies you're holding, Nita? 40? Thank you. And finally, I'd like to ask Sujata to annex the notice of the annual meeting to the meeting minutes. Finally, I'd like to ask the chairman and spiritual head of the Himalayan Institute to share with us some of his ideas about the past and where we might be going in the future.
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. This is really wonderful to see and be part of this our annual get-together. I call it a celebration, as Sujata said, rather than a meeting. And as I mentioned during our previous meetings, especially the meeting that was held in the honor of our 45th anniversary. 45th year is a little bit bizarre sounding anniversary. But the truth is, 50th anniversary comes only if we prepare for it. So 45th anniversary is preparation for what is going to unfold in next 5 years. It is in this respect, as you have been hearing, our progress report of last year's, that is a little bit of 2015 and 2016, and some of the ideas you got, what is about to unfold in 2017. Therefore, here is what I would like to unveil, that very soon, in 2019, an exact date, July 16th, 2019 will be the inauguration of and consecration of our shrine, which we are working on for last many, many months, almost for one whole year. Why is that? As you saw, so many members in this team, members of the executive team and directors and so on, talking about what we have so far done. If you analyze, there are 5 things. They fall in 5 different categories. Number 1, improvement in our physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure is needed to support what we are doing in regard to our intellectual, educational, spiritual offerings. And it is in that respect regard you saw all the programs that are being offered and that are being developed. Okay. And in order to support all that intellectual, spiritual, educational, humanitarian services, we need IT infrastructure. It is in that respect you heard so many wonderful things that which have been undertaken, including our fantastic HI, HimalayanInstitute.org, which is in part has been unveiled and the rest is on its way. Then comes a much more intimate type of infrastructure that we need to provide, and that is actual spiritually oriented, spiritually driven infrastructure. We are not a college, we are not an university, we are not just a intellectual or academic research institution. We are experience-driven spiritual organization with a very, very precise goal. Goal is to bring about those services which truly help us unfold our human potentials. And for that we need a place to practice what we have so far learned, intellectually. And it is in that respect we are about to undertake the construction of Sri Vidya Shrine, something compatible to and hopefully even bigger and more magnificent than what has been accomplished in Khajuraho. For last 9 months or even a little bit more than 9 months, lots of work has been already done in terms of finalizing our architectural plan. Meanwhile, all the permits and licensing that we need, to be able to do the groundbreaking, all that is already in the process, and we are quite close to being at final stage. It is in this respect. We are just about to be ready to undertake this massive project. I call it building spiritual infrastructure, which is befitting to what our sages are all about, what our tradition is all about, and what our students and our members are all about. There are many, many, many yoga organizations. They have laser-focused services that they are offering. Quite often, that laser-focused services is asana. Ours is somewhat different. And that is creating a bridge, not just between East and West. In fact, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, that word was very, very pertinent. In fact, today, creating a bridge between two human hearts, two communities, two societies, two ethnic groups. Since when Swamiji established this organization almost 45 years ago, world has really gotten flat. Now in that flat world, we need something what our great masters and teachers offered thousands of years ago. Somewhat history is just about to repeat itself. And that is, we are in dire need of transcending, overcoming, freeing ourselves from this pervasive fear, anger, hatred. So many of our decisions at our personal level, at the level of our family, society, nation, politics, or even at international affairs level, it's so heavily and badly affected by anger, fear, That is not way to really progress and achieve, a true human in us. And therefore, it is in this context we must bring the dreams of the visions of our founder. That is, to create a place where just by walking into that space, our heart and our brain are pulled together. And we begin to experience that we are truly human being. And it is in that regard I'm announcing to all of you that we are just about to do the groundbreaking ceremony somewhere next year. And before that, all the permits and all the infrastructure to be ready. And remember, this kind of infrastructure requires one more infrastructure. That is financial infrastructure. In this regard, I also announce something with great, deep, profound gratitude. That is, for last 36 years I have learned that when you have a project, make sure you accomplish a good amount of that project and the financial requirement that is there somewhere long before you open your mouth. So I just expressed this feeling to some of you, which you are, I'm sure you must be watching somewhere, because those people I'm referring, they are not here in the audience, but they are somewhere in the cloud. And therefore, I just, little ago, some individual who wishes to remain anonymous has pledged $1 million. And few more $100,000 have been put in place. And that was my goal, that only when at least 30-40% of the budget is met, only then I will open my mouth. I'm very grateful to my master, all the sages, members and the students and friends and supporters of the Institute, those who have always been with me, with the Institute. And therefore, the project is not less than $5 million project. And somewhere we are on our way to reaching that goal before I will start talking about money loud. And this is not loud the way I'm saying it. It is, I'm just informing my loved ones, all the members, students, supporters, who know that one whisper, one word is equal to a gigantic scripture. And it is in this respect I'm announcing, please be ready to see your Himalayan Institute as a paradise, spiritual paradise, open to all human beings. You know. And I do not know what else to tell you. The shrine will open on July 16th, 2019. Before that, lots of preparation has to go into it. And everything that we are doing, starting with our New Year's program this year, then Kumbh Mela in February 2019, then consecration of the shrine in July 2019, and then year-long Akhand Japa meditation and fire offering to not just consecrate, but rather charge this space of the entire campus, where the shrine will be right at the core, right at the center, with so much powerful spiritual energy that for centuries to come, Himalayan Institute campus becomes a sanctuary for all spiritual seekers belonging to any faith, any ethnicity, or any religious groups. And that is how we wish to serve the Himalayan Institute, and this is how we wish to serve you all and serve the will of the divine. God bless you. And again, I must, although there is nothing like thank, but that individual who just gave a powerful boost, may God bless him, may God bless her, and may God bless all of you who are just about to be inspired to do similar things. God bless you again. Anything else, sir? I think this is it. Yeah, thank you.
I did promise to ask if there are any questions from you. If not, I need a motion to adjourn. And a second? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you for coming and enjoy your day.